Well, good evening everybody. Welcome back to Virtual Pool 4, and we are finally up and running, and we're up and running just in time for the big match that we have on the winner's side in this year's Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. We've got a match between Bedhead from Sweden and REELPOLANDPOWER, or Stub as he'll be known from now on, and they're going in a race to 19 at the top of the hour. Quick thing to check, there's been a couple of updates in the bracket, that is. If we go to the one loss side, we can see that Hairpig has set the match with Snake Eyes. That will be for May the 1st. And we also have the match between Mr. Bill and One Pocket Slim, which will be for tomorrow at, is that 3 PM? I think it's 3 PM. Now, as I said, mentioned earlier, my BT fibre is getting upgraded tomorrow. That is an appointment between 8 AM and excuse me, and 1 PM, and it should be done by then. I think the voice is going. Hang on a minute. Oh, I need to go and get an extra bottle of water as well. I'll be back in a bit. Get a bottle first of all. I've ran out of water. 2 minutes. Right, I'm back. I didn't want the voice breaking down before the bloody thing started. Yeah, so we've got the big challenge for both players here tonight. Stub, who, as always, he always comes in with a positive attitude that he's going to win it. One day he might get it right. But there's a big hurdle to overcome tonight against Bedhead, who's been playing, not praying. Hopefully he hasn't been praying, or he doesn't feel he needs to pray. He's been playing pretty strong in what I've seen. And, well, let's hope we get a good match. That's all I'm hoping for. Some good 9-ball. Well, I presume everybody already realises that we had some sort of mechanical breakdown with VP4 again for about the 4th time since we switched to these other servers, and I'm not that impressed, I have to say. Not very impressed at all that we've had this much disruption since this changeover, but that's Steve's choice, and maybe he might be looking for alternative means. You need something that's going to be reliable. So both players are here. Stub was in getting a bit of a practice earlier on. Bedhead has been here, but he hasn't been doing any practicing from what I've seen. He was in away mode. I don't know whether he's at the top of the chat now because I can't see, and I certainly don't see him there. He may well be away rebooting the PC. Oh, he is in getting warmed up now. So he's getting a rack or two in. just in preparation for the match. Well, what's the predictions going to be? Because I mean, I think it's anybody's guess. You know what? It really is a toss of a coin. Both of them get on a run. They could mount up the racks. Is Stubb going to push the boat out? Is Bedhead going to get out of shape too often and leave some of these Bedhead cuts too often? We just don't know. Is Stubb going to say bullshit more than 30 times during the match? That's a guarantee. Is he going to quit if he's losing the last rack? That's a guarantee. So there's only certain things that we know that are going to happen. But what we don't know is what the outcome of the match is going to be, which is a good thing. Yep, there'll be an FTS, there'll be loads of bullshit, there'll be loads of luck, none of which will be Stubbs, of course, when he gets it, but we're all used to it. So, top of the hour, room's up, let's get in. I probably lagged off there. And I've got to change the cloth colour. So here we go. Bedhead has won the lag. Race to 19. All the usual rules apply in 9-ball. And I immediately think Bedhead's fallen asleep. Oh no, there we go. I see movement. Oh, straight away the cue ball's kicked in. Well, there's a disastrous start. That's exactly what you don't want. Man, what a bonus already for Stubb. Immediately going to pounce on that one. And, well, of course, no need to say it, but he should be out. Well, I've just worked out how you do the other thing with that. I'm not sure it is. Right. Now, he's got to avoid drawing into the 6 here. This could go wrong. And, well, he's just done enough, I think. The angle he had there on that 5 was not good, because he was going to run into it and he had to rely on a bit of luck for this to end up to give him a shot, but he's entirely the wrong side of this 6-ball and he's going to have to let this run unless he's going to leave some cut at a distance. And the 8-ball's in the way as well. He's avoided the 8, he's played it well. And just a straight in, and a straight in 9, so that is the luck of the way the game goes. Bedhead wins the lag, breaks off, cue ball gets kicked in, and the rack's over. Well, the servers were down again, and Steve wasn't there to deal with it. That was the basic answer in a nutshell. He was en route to somewhere at the time, so I had to wait until he could get to a computer to probably deal with it. I don't know. But anyway, Stubb with the ball in the break. No, he's not golfing. That's what he denied that when I said that on the stream the other day. He's got family he was going to see, which is why he couldn't be here tonight. Now has to get this nice little angle on this 4-ball so he can make way to get to that 5, because it's been hampered by that 6-ball. The 7-ball's also in the way if you're going up that left hand side to get a shot in the 5. It's just in an awkward place that can get in line of that cue ball. Now it looks as if it's just going to be the draw to this rail, and that'll do nicely. Well, this is going to be 2 racks ran straight away from that dry break, not from the dry break, from the scratch in the first rack to a break and run in the second rack. That's 2 gets added on in the stats at the end of the match. Needs to keep rolling. That will do. So Bedhead, after the lag, has only played 1 shot so far. So 2-0. And again, Stubbs breaking from where the cue ball appears. 5-ball, thought about it, hasn't gone, and the 1-ball is on for Bedhead, and he's going to have to just lock Stubb up. No shot in the 2. Good evening. Welcome to any latecomers. Well, I don't know that that's the best position. That he's just looking to maybe push it to the side rail and behind the 5. He's got enough room, and that's pretty tight, although it's not a difficult kick. Oh, Semi won that pot, man. I think he won at 9-3 or something. But bear in mind, Mooncake's never played in Shooter's Pool. I don't think. And it was a beast of a table that they were on. It had nasty pockets on it. And Stubbs got the hit. Bedhead trying to pinch. Trying to pinch it. He hit it too hard to cheat the pocket, to be honest with you. And he's let Stubb in again. So that goes down as an unforced error. And again, it's those errors you can't afford. It's now, one mistake, you've lost a rack. That's basically how it should be nowadays at this point in the tournament. One mistake, you lose. Just checking the cue ball there, just to hold it from running away left. I think he's pretty straight on this 6. He's got a slight angle if he wants to run through. He looks as if he's trying to draw it and play it on the safe side. Now, it's going to be across the table, presumably for that 8 into that far corner, unless he wants to get over far enough for it in the middle. Depends on how much weight he puts on it. It's in the corner, and he doesn't want to run through too far here. He's going to have to jack up, just stun this in, unless he decides to let it run around, but jacking it up and killing it's the simplest shot. So Bedhead could not have had a worse start. That one there was self-inflicted, but unlucky in the first rack. The second rack was run out, and now Stubbs picked off from the mistake and the miss by Bedhead to go 3-0, and also a ball in the break and a shot again in rack number 4. Well, there is the mistake, and there is the chance for Bedhead to respond. So once again, just nurse the one onto the 4. But he's got to be able to get out of that corner. And he doesn't want to be interfering with the 5 and the 8. He doesn't need to. The problem's going to be, though, that he may well have to leave the long 5 cut from distance. That may well allow him to come out from the short reel there up the table for the 6. He wants to keep that clean. And that looks like the way it's going to be. Just get the cut straight up the middle. That's what I meant. I haven't seen Wink at me. What the hell happened in your matches in the tournament, Wink? You ended up forfeiting the second match. What happened there? I've never found out yet. So, we would one mistake each, basically, apart from if you don't count the scratch or the kick in that first rack. We've had Bedhead made a mistake in the last rack. Stubb won it. And Stubbs made a mistake this rack. And Bedhead's looking like he may well pinch one back here and get on the board. It was, who was it? I can't remember who it was that won it. Well, Bedhead's got a ball in the break, he's got a shot. In fact, he's got more than one in the break, he's got the 5 and the 7. And, well, once again, no excuse. He wants to leave. I mean, if he could, it'd be ideal if he left the cue ball near the 6, because that gives him the angle just to stun the 2 in and come up for the 4. He's going a wee bit straighter probably, but yeah, he's a wee bit straighter, but he can force it in and just stun up the table. Needs to punch it a bit. Well, he's running around, he's taking a risk there. I mean, that again, that could have went wrong. I don't know why he felt he needed to run it. He could have stunned it. Shit, I'm forgetting about the 3. I'm looking at the 4. It tells you I'm falling asleep. The concentration's gone out the window already. Did Wink say what happened in his second match? Because I've not seen any in the chat. I've been looking at the chat and not paying proper attention here. And I'm messing up Bedhead's attempt to run out here. Trying to keep an eye on what's going on in case I miss what he said. Either that or he's choosing to ignore me, one of the two. Well, he's left this thinnish. Now, it's thin. Can he avoid hitting the 8? And is he going to try and take evasive action off that 4 ball? No, he's managed to squirt round past it. He's going to go way inside though. And then these are the testy ones. And that's a good shot. Played with full commitment. Well, it's a good rack for Bedhead to win. Back to within 1. Oh, a good break. The balls are all running. Cue balls heading into the pocket though. That's another disaster. 2 breaks he's had. And 2 scratches. And you know, that's when you talk about breaking and trying to hold that cue ball, trying to kill it. That's twice it's found its way into a top pocket. And well, Stubbs not going to do much here other than a safety. And that's a good one. So, this is a toughie. The tighter the better. Any of these times you play a safe like that, the tighter you get, the less options the player has to get a line to get to the ball. And Stubbs going to get his reward. So ball in hand. And well, he's got to make sure he finds the gap. He may well run past the 5 here to be on the safe side. If he takes a risk and staying below the 5, he could end up in trouble. Well, he's lining up to drop this 3 in the middle, which has kind of got me a bit baffled. I mean, he could easily play it in the corner. Well, you see, he's leaving himself the high angle here, and he's got to avoid hitting the 9. That was not the best thought out shot that I can see from my position. He's looking to miss the 9. Or he might play it gentle enough just to, if he does hit it, he's avoided it anyway, so he's okay. So Stubb, again, it's going to be a run out for Stubb. That's going to be 3 he's had so far in the match. Yeah, 3 it is. 3 runouts. Well, he's going to have to do surely up and down with this shot to get on the 9. Well, it will be 3 if he gets it. Well, he's looking and he's looking. I don't see what the problem is because I can't see how he's going to hold for this 9 ball at that angle. And he's determined not to actually try and get there. He's determined to leave silly things like this. I mean, this is a cop-out, this. Is he going for the cut of the bank? Yeah, he's going for the cut. And that's what he, again, that's what he relies on. And he's relying on that too much. And this time the break is dry. But the lead goes back to 2. It's 4-2 to Stubb. And Bedhead doesn't really have a shot. I mean, he could go for the ambitious combo in the 5, but it's not really the shot he should be taking. He should be looking to find cover somewhere and maybe work out a shot. I mean, the thing is if you can find a way down to this line of balls down the bottom, at least there's cover down here if you can find a way down to it, but that's not easy. But his other alternative, if he's lining up this 1-5, is really difficult. You know, and that's the type of, again, it's about measuring up the value of the shot and the outcome should you not be getting it. And the outcome is really giving Stubb a free go here. But, you know, these players, I've got the hiccups again now, I've had a drink of water. These players just feel pressurised. They're pressurised themselves. If they get a snip of a ball, they feel they have to go for it. Well, it is about risk and reward though here, Pig. What I'm saying is you have to make that choice now and again. All-out attack isn't always going to work. You have to weigh up, you know, who the level of the player you're playing against. There are times to push and times to hold back. I think he may well have been better off looking for an alternative there, as difficult as it may have been. Now again, Stubb's in trouble. This is very tricky. There's a little tricky cut in this 3 ball. That's a good shot though. That is so difficult to play. And Bedhead is going to be trailing by 3 any minute now. Well, need I say more? He's, you know, this is beyond the Bedhead cut, this here. Now, this is what he relies on. You know, a lot of the times he's going to get them, but sooner or later he's going to run out of that. This needs to keep running because he's right in the middle of no man's land with this shot. Again, you know, loose positional play and relying on the potting ability to stay at the table. This is what we, you know, I keep talking about it all the time with Stubb. But so far he's been getting them. And this time, he ain't getting it. And that's all from a poor positional shot. And Bedhead has got a gift. And Stubb will never learn. He's never prepared to put the work in to get that cue ball tighter, under tighter control. And that's the example of what I'm getting at when I watch him. Well, a good solid break from Bedhead. Well, he's going to have to go all out for the bank, but again, what's the value in it? I mean, he could play a decent safety off this one ball, because the two ball is not really inviting. He could get the bank and then play the safe, obviously, but he could run for cover right now off the one. Now, is he going 100% around the table with the cue ball? Yes, he is. He's going 100% around. How's his luck? Well, he's got a shot. It is tightish. It does go. The problem, though, is that he's running up the table, and he's going to have to try and nurse this in and drag the pace off the cue ball if he's going to leave himself any semblance of a shot in the four. But once again, he could just push this through and lock the cue ball. Well, when you look at it from this side, it's tight. He's played it well. The pace is good, but he's going straight. Now what does he do? Well, I think he's got too much spin in that. He's got too much spin on it. Could see the spin on the cue ball there. And he's leaked the four out, and that's a poor one from Bedhead. That is not a good shot. I mean, there's no way he should have been seeing the four. Period. He should not have seen the four. And, you know, he done the hard work there. And then he's just giving it away. All Simon said is it was just a server failure, and the reason there was such a big delay is Steve was on the road. He was driving somewhere and couldn't deal with it instantaneously. That's the sort of gist of the reason. Other than that, I don't know whether he'd been in the lobby at all. So anyway, Stubb back to two in front. And a ball in the break. This time, no shot. The 5 ball has gone. Well, Simon said he tried to restart them, but that didn't work. So something must have been done at Steve's end. Yeah, he's went all out for the bank on that one, and he could pay the price this time. Now again, does Bedhead feel he really needs to try the cut in this one, or you know, what's wrong with the bank up the table and dropping the cue ball in behind the 7, in behind the 6 and the 8? You know, it's all out for the pot. Now, once you've made that decision, you've got to do it. He's got a nice little kiss, although he's got just a testy angle on the 2. And now he's got a problem, because once again he's got to punch this 3 in and run over, by the look of it, over towards that 9 ball to have a shot in the 4. Unless he tries to do something fancy here, but to me the simpler shot is to run forward. Well, he's drawn back. That is a cracking shot at that pace to play the draw. Again, it's all about commitment. You've got to commit yourself to those shots. There's no nursemaiding a ball into the pocket when you have to get that cue ball to a spot. You've got to go for it 100%. And he did that there. Still got to get out though. Having made that choice to get the cut to start off, he has to back it all the way. Checks the cue ball to straighten it again. Now, does he want to just come across the bottom side of this 8 ball and take no risk? Or does he want to come up the top side? He's drawn up the top side. Yeah, goodness knows what the shot clock is now you mention it. It must be near enough a minute, because I haven't even looked at it in the rules. It's certainly 45 seconds or more with an extension, so you've got plenty of time to play a shot. And also, the point is plenty of time to think about your shot, and half the people in this tournament have never done that. So Bedhead is back to within 1, but has come up dry, and Stubb is going to cut the 1 onto the 8. It's right over the corner, and well, there's a problem. The 5 and 7 are going to be Bedhead's safety net. Oh, he's missed a hit on the 7, on the 8. Well, that's a bad one. Now, can Bedhead make the most of it? He's going to be having to deal with this this 5-7, but he'll worry about that when he gets to it. Got to get the first phase of this attempted run out done. Now, he's taking a risk right now, which is a wise move, because he may well not have had another good opportunity. He's taking the risk because he's going to be hampered and jacked up over this 5, but at least he was guaranteed he should still have a shot in the 2. But he's going to have to run forward, around and out. Oh, that's definitely him. That's another attempted rant. Well, Stubb trying to force the issue again. Well, Bedhead's missed the bank. Now this racks up in the air, but that 2-ball is in play now. Yeah, I mean, exactly what point are you trying to make? I mean, because your point is pointless. The whole idea of this is nothing to do with who's playing in the game. It's nothing to do with them. Well, there was a glimmer of a chance there for Bedhead, but that's all gone. And Stubb, strong favourite to keep that gap. Oh, he's left it short again. Another testy cut on this 6. Oh, he's used all the pocket. Well, the golden rule with this, get past the left or the right middle pocket, and that will give you a shot. He's got a good enough line. Could have done with another inch or so, but that'll do. Now, you seriously think that Stubb and Bedhead are going to take any word of advice that I say on a stream? You know, how naive is that? That's a good point here, Pig. Very good point. If they're smart, they won't be paying attention to anything. So Stubb with a 2-rack lead, a ball in the break, and he's on to stretch the lead. Exactly as well. Another good point, Rotor Monkey. Well, it's bad news for Bedhead because that's another rack. I think it's another rack run for Stubb. And again, getting balls in the break is going to have to be the bank to keep it going. But if he gets it, he'll be out because he's got to be on the 2. Well, he's going to have to get a hold of the cue ball here, though. I mean, unless he just wants to let it run away up the table, but he's got the cut back on the 2. Well, there's a mistake from Stubb, but he's not left anything easy here. It's not easy because Bedhead doesn't have a sight on the 3 other than the jump. And the other problem is he's going to have a heck of a cut in this 5 again, more than likely, if he does get it. And he's going to scratch as well. Well, there's the ultimate disaster again. Stubb makes a mistake. Bedhead can't capitalise on it. Stubb gets the lucky finish, although he won't admit it. But he's looking strong favourite again to now double his lead to 8-4. Oh, it's now 8-4. Break, dry, again a thin cut though to start Bedhead off, and if he gets it he'll be on the 2. And a good chance to get 1 back. Well, he's going to be running loose though. That needed to finish more or less straight on. Can he hold off this 2? No, he can't. Now the other question is what does he do? Does he leave the combo, or is he trying to go long? Looks as if he's going long. Yeah. The simpler shot to at least guarantee he was going to have a sight on the 3 and a pocket to play it in. Well, this has got to be, it's got to be played right to get good on this 7, and he's played it right. Nice firm stun, little bit of spin. Well, this was a vital rack for Bedhead. in the whole context of the match so far. He has to stay in touch, but he's going to need a bit more luck on the break than the couple of scratches he's had so far. Well, lots of movement, but no ball on the break, and just a thin edge of that one ball shown for Stubb. Now I wonder whether, let's have a look. You see, the problem I see with this shot is trying to go from where Stubb is trying to hit the one, go up the table, and then try and come back down in amongst these balls. There's traffic in the line of where the cue ball would go. I don't know what he's looking at. He's just looking to push. And, well, not a bad push, but if Bedhead can work the cue ball a bit here, he might get good cover. Not easy though. Is that enough to pot the one? I think it is. I think the 5 is just a guide. I mean, I find it difficult to see the blend between the 5 and that one ball. Now, look at the 3. Is he going to be blocked? Yeah, he's going to have to kick. Now, I mentioned the other day that Stubbs one of the better kickers in this game. He'll fancy knocking this in if he can get it clean past the 4. Oh, he's hit that one all wrong though. And the cue ball scratched as well. So Bedhead, well, is he going to just bite the bullet? He's looking at that, but I mean, I wouldn't risk any attempted 3-9 combo there. It's easy enough to drop behind the 4. Again, another vital chance here for Bedhead, simply because he has to do it. I mean, he's trailing by 3, he's got a great opportunity, and it has to be done. That's a good shot. Well controlled. So he's going to get back to within 2. And needing a ball and a shot. Just the usual. Oh, cue ball's trying to run away again. Well, I don't think there's any good running in this cue ball here for Bedhead off these breaks. It's threatening to get each time. But once again, he's come up dry. You just cannot legislate for that. He's come up dry, left Bedhead, left Stubb a shot, and he's off and running again, and he should be out. Oh dear, where's he going here? Where's he going here? Well, that's poor. And Bedhead should be ready to pounce. That is a bad one from Stubb. I mean, there's a huge margin of error there. If anything, you make sure you're going to come past that 6 ball. And he almost got the 3 in. And he's left the cut there for Bedhead. And once again, it is an opportunity. And if he gets this 3 and can see that 4, it should be over and out on this rack. Pressure shot though, has to deliver. Oh dear, and that's what happens when you know you've got to get it and hold. He's overcut it, but that's the best thing that could have happened there, is overcutting it, because it's always going to send it to the top rail. Now, is Stubb trying to find the thin edge on this to come around the corner? This is extremely thin, if that's what he's looking at. I would never ever trust my eyes to play a shot like this, if that's what he's thinking. But if he can get it, and if he can avoid the 5, he'll have distance. Well, he's just nursing it around, and it's a good shot though. It's an excellent shot. The little nudge in the 5 has got Bedhead in trouble. Not a difficult kick, but it's again relying on luck on the outcome. And that will do. That is that little bit of luck you need. But I think Stubb, believe it or not, he's going to have a slash at this. He's going to amp it up, give it the full cut. And now, how's his luck? And again, it's not bad, because it's one of these middle of nowhere, take your pick choices on the 3 ball. And this is actually quite an interesting part of the match, because it's all about Stubb drifting away, or it's all about Bedhead finding his way back in this, because if this goes pear-shaped for Bedhead, Stubb may well build on it if his break starts working. He's going for the bank, but it's going to be nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. And again, that's a sellout shot. He was on the 4, but his chance has come and gone. Well, the bank was never ever going to be there. Didn't pick the line at all. that cut that he had earlier in the rack, that was the one that was the sign of playing the shot under pressure, where he overcut the 3. Because he was playing obviously to get good in the 4, and he was good in the 4, but he then overcut the 3. But that was the vital shot in the rack, because that's the one that was going to allow him to run out or let Stubb back in it one way or another in the rack, and inevitably this is what's happened, and the gap is going to go back to 3. But there's still good time for things to change. It's all going to hinge on the break. And the bad news for Bedhead is if Stubbs' break starts working, and a ball straight in the corner. That was a straight rack, and the only saving grace is that 4 ball has locked the cue ball. So just to push out, table is wide open, and again Stubbs going to push out, but you think how much these players just feel that if they have a sniff, they're going for a pot. You know, some of these top players are, and I generally don't include Cobra in that, because Cobra does utilise the safety, but some of these other guys are one-dimensional in the sense that when they see the ball, they feel they have to go for it. And the one concern I would have here is where Stubb leaves this cue ball and what Bedhead attempts from it. Because I'm making a fair guess that he's more than likely to try some sort of shot. And Stubbs pushed, and he's not left Bedhead a good bank, and he's not left him a good cut either, but he's putting it on the table and saying, there you go, have a go. Because he knows that if Bedhead goes and misses, Stubbs should just pick this rack off. This is still something where Bedhead could play a decent safety off this 1 ball, but I don't think he's inclined to even think about it. That's my concern. Well, lo and behold, he's tried it. He hasn't got the cue ball safe, but he's got the 1 ball safe. So anything just to fool me. Well, there you go. That's proof, Mr. Fox, that Bedhead is listening to me. And he played a safe. And Stubb having a blast. And would you believe it, the cue ball checks up in the rail, and he's got it safe. And it was not luck at all that did that. And Bedhead in dire straits here. I mean, I looked at when the cue ball was approaching that end rail, then you could see the spin on it. It was just going to check right up and die behind the 7. Now that needs to go past the middle pocket, and it hasn't. And so Stubb has his chance. Got to be careful here though. This could go a bit out of shape if he doesn't lie nice on the 2, and he's gone the narrow side, and he's got an angle to come up the table. Yeah, has anybody seen Allenville recently? I don't even think I've seen him on Facebook or anything for a long time. 8 balls going to get in, which is a bit of a bonus. Or the PS5 now. Oh, I think that game I was talking about earlier on, Stephen Hendry was endorsing This Is Pool and This Is Snooker. If you go to YouTube and you type in This Is Pool and This Is Snooker, I saw the link for that 2 years ago and I posted it in the VP4 lobby about this new game that was coming out. And I've never heard anything about it since. The website's still up about the game, but no information whatsoever on whether it's still in development or not. But it's developed by Vufu Studios, the ones that done Pure Pool and Hustle Kings as well on the PS3. It was at the time. Well, he's certainly not been in VP4. I think he's been in once or twice, but that's about it. Anyway, back to the game. Stubb with a 4-rack lead, 2 ball in the break. Shot in the 1. If he gets on the 3, he should be out. And Stubb is mounting up these racks ran, by the way. He is certainly adding to that tally, and we'll see that at the end of the match. I can't see where he's going to go wrong here. Could somebody do me a favour and give me an update in the snooker, please? The quarter-finals that are being played tonight. It would be very much appreciated. $7-6 to Bingham. What about Little Orphan Annie? How's he doing? What's happening with Robertson? Right, no, tell a lie. It's not Robertson. It's Selby and is it not Selby and what's who the hell's playing tonight? Apart from the two you've just mentioned, I've totally forgotten. Well, Stubb now has a comfortable lead. It's a lead of 5 racks. Yeah, Selby was what, 6-2 up at the end of that first session. Yeah, Williams. Well, the thing is, if Williams continues to play the way he's played during the tournament, he could get on a roll, but he would need to get on a roll quick, I would think. Oh, aye, Kyron Wilson, that's right. Yeah. Good evening, Keith. Well, it's already at the stage where Bedhead's going to need assistance to get back in this match. Trailing by 5, it could end up being nightmarish. That's the one I would have loved to have streamed, that match. That one that you're talking about, Albie, I would have loved to have been streaming at that time. That'd have been great to look back in that. No, Race to 41 was a Virtual World 9-Ball Championships that I ran. You were first to 21 in the first round, first to 31 in all other rounds up to the semi-final. And then the semi-final was the first to 35. And the final was first to 41. These are just a walk in the park, a race to 19. Yeah, I was renowned for unnecessarily long matches like that. Proper distances for a virtual game. Good little combo there in the 8. Now can he still make the cut in this 2? Let's have a look. Yeah, he can. He's got to get it really thin though, because he doesn't want to catch that knuckle. There's nothing. What Bedhead needs is some straightforward racks here, where you know there's no problem in running out. Now with this shot, stun it in and hold it. This is a dangerous shot though, you see, he's not risking it. He's keeping it simple. You could stun and hold it for the 4 into the same pocket, or just, you know, nursemaid it in and run through for the 4. Now, how's this looking? See, he's a bit straight in this. And he's going for the stun this time. But he looks to have rescued one, but needs something in his favour with this break. Well, I don't think Bedhead's had a rack where he's potted and ran a rack so far. Not that I can remember, but he's got a ball this time. He's on the 1. He's the wrong side of it though. But how much does he really need to do with this cue ball? Not a lot, because he can just drop that 2 in the middle. That will go comfortably into the middle. And a nice pace to bring the cue ball out into the table, but not too far. He doesn't really want to go much further than this. Just where the donut is roughly. So he's slightly the wrong side of the 3. There's no immediate problem though. But this, again, is exactly what needs to happen if you're in Bedhead's corner. He needs to get a rack. He needs to run it in a break and run, get into some sort of rhythm to get his match started, because it's not really started yet for him. At the moment it's a damage limitation, trying to stop Stubb getting away. And as long as Stubb is on 11 and Bedhead's not in double figures, the danger is very imminent of Stubb running away. So these are critical, that he makes no stupid mistakes. That's a no-no. Back to within 3. The closest he's got in the last few racks has been back to within 2, hasn't it? And then Stubbs got away again. Again, a solid break. 7 ball might spin in. No, it hasn't. It looks dry. And now does Stubb have enough room to push that through and lock the cue ball? I think it might be a bit tight. And really has. Well, he hasn't quite locked it, and it's not difficult to hit, but still no shot for Bedhead. Yeah, it's a clever shot. Well, this has got a good chance of going in, because he's got the line to get the hit in the 1. He's got enough room to get past the 6 easily. He's looking at the thereabouts in the diamond, and if he gets it full in the face, he'll pour it. And he's actually filled the 2. Well, he's completely missed it, which is a bit of a surprise. And it's ball in hand, which again is bad news for Bedhead, considering the lay of these balls. They're all there. It's a given that this is one that's going to leak away again. Unexpected that he wouldn't get even a hit on that 1 ball from the kick, because it wasn't difficult. But to actually clip the 2 first was a, fatal mistake. Now, while Stubbs doing this, and while I've got your attention, quick look at this bracket just to see what the outcome is here. This is the match that is on at the moment, and the winner is going to be playing Spectre Dawn. And of course, up at the top side, we've got Cobra to play Mal. I don't know when that's going to be, but they've got until May the 5th to get that match played. So there's still 2 or 3 days. Meanwhile, back to business. Now Stubbs giving a good look at the 7. Well, he just wants to make sure he's out in the table. And there's enough angle, there's just enough angle there. He's got a choice. He can go forward and around, he can stunt to the rail, or draw up the table. He's forward and around, and the pace looks pretty decent. What sort of times, Cobra? Especially Monday, because I'm working Monday. Well, I'm working Tuesday, obviously, so. And if you're up early in the morning, I wouldn't imagine you'd be wanting to start late at night, like 8 o'clock or anything like that on a Monday night. Aye, that'll do me. Any of those times would be fine. So, Stubb back to 4 in front. And, well, for Bedhead to stay with him, that's the first thing that needs to happen. A dry break, and he's going to have to, again, try and cheat that one in if he wants to brave it, but I mean, he could push the one through and lock up behind the 8 here. He could get nasty, but he's more inclined to try and cheat the pocket and drop down onto that 2. Yeah, again, big punch to stun it in. It's never going to go in at that pace as soon as it hit those jaws. And, you know, Stubb has got plenty of room just to catch the edge of it. Well, again, the point I'm making there is his Bedhead felt compelled to go for the pot when he could have locked that up tight and waited on a better opportunity. And Stubb has made the mistake again. Another unexpected mistake. And here is a chance that Bedhead did not expect. Well, he should have locked him up. You would have locked him up, Cobra. I know you would have. Because to play that ball at that pace, you're never giving it the chance to go in. Never in a month of Sundays is that going to go in at that pace when you've got no room to manoeuvre the ball into the pocket. So the lock-up was far simpler and probably far more beneficial, but he's getting a second bite at it and he can't turn it down this time. But he needs to get good in the 3. Oh, this is another tester, this, I'll tell you. I mean, these are just awkward. And just picking that line. Not only that, it's the fact that the 4-ball's stuck in the top rail. And that is a cracking shot. That is well played. They are not easy, especially when you've got to get down there onto that 4. Now he has to go all the way, but look at the trouble he's got ahead. He's going to have to play the 5 and surely try and get the breakout here. And I don't think he's got a great angle. He's going to have to force it through, or he's going to have to come back and try and play the combo. No, he's trying to get into the gap. Has he got it? Yes, he has. And that's another good shot. Oh, there's Mal. Good evening, Mal. Oh, is that going to hold the line? Oh, no, it isn't. And he's let it go. Oh, that is a sore one. But it's an unforced error at the wrong time in the match. Cannot afford it. Got 2 chances at that rack there. And the 2 of them have gone. And, well, that's the way it is now. So Stubb stretches further into the lead. And it's now 13-8. It's now back to 5. And that 9-ball is going in just to add more pain as far as Bedhead's cause is concerned. What a time to get a 9-ball in a break. This time it's dry. This time Bedhead has a shot, but it's only now a damage limitation job for Bedhead, I feel. First target, get to double figures. And then if you get lucky, you might be able to run a few racks. Well, there's no real problem here. Just getting out far enough on the 3 will do. He can stop the cue ball there if he wants. He doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball and just leave the cut on the 5. On the 4. What the hell ball is that? My colour coordination here's gone out the window. That's the 4. I was thinking that was the 4. It's a bloody 8 ball. Maybe I need to change it to the red cloth. Maybe that's what will help my eyes. Well, Bedhead hasn't said a single word other than good luck or whatever it was he said at the beginning, so he's not reading it, I don't think. Well, Bedhead's break hasn't really worked. That's the major factor at this point in the tournament. The Bedhead break has been the big letdown. Those scratches in the break, and he's not been able to get into any sort of rhythm. And then a good shot using the rails, nice pace. But it is a tough ask now, and as I said, it has to be things going in your favour now. But once again, Bedhead can't buy a ball and a shot. Now, Stubb. Well, what does he do? He could try getting up, coming across the rails and getting up towards the 7 ball. He might have enough room to try and get down by the 8 ball. But the worry here is where do you keep the 1 ball safe? Do you just roll to it though and give up any ideas of getting distance? He's trying to get distance. He didn't get enough spin on it to get up near the 7, but I'll tell you what, the end result will still do. That is still a half decent safety. It's difficult for Bedhead to get the cue ball anywhere, especially with the 8 ball sitting there. And he might resort to giving this a bash and hoping he gets a fluke here. To actually try and hit this and get this safe is going to be a tall order. I'd just give it a smack and hope. Oh, he just feathered it. He feathered it no more, and Stubb's going to spin to the 6 ball, I think. If he banks the 1 onto the 2, the 1 will stay there or thereabouts, and if he spins it, he might be able to knock. No, he's decided to play safe. Well, there's another surprise. Oh, that's a good response there. I can Stubb sneak behind that too. He's going to be hard pushed to do that. That is pretty close. Now, was that a legal shot? We'll find out in a second. I have my doubts. Well, it was. And Bedhead. Well, Stubb's not lucky. Don't forget that. Stubb gets no luck. He's certainly not left the 1 ball easy. Now, what's Bedhead looking at? And the bank's not on. He's just got to leave the 1 ball there, I think. He's not really got much choice. Well, Stubb can certainly get up the table and try and get up amongst the 8, the 5 and the 7 and the 4. If he's willing to put that pace into the cue ball. But he's got to avoid the middle pocket to do that and try and get distance. I don't know whether it looks good enough from his line. Well, it probably doesn't, which is why he's playing that. Well, my webcam is working. Little double kiss. Well, this is still... I would still be more inclined to get distance now. Bedhead's going all out there for it. I mean, he played the lock-up behind the 9 and look what happens. He banks the 1. How's that for luck? Well, I think he's good this time. Don't tell me. No, he can't get behind that 7. Stubbs just trying to keep things tight, because even with ball in hand, he's not going to have a shot. So Bedhead's got to go for the 3 fouls, and he needs a bit of right English. The one problem with this shot is he's going to maybe open the 2 a bit more, and that's the only problem. He has to get that 3 into play to make sure Stubb can't get there. And there's still no line off the short reel to get there, and Stubbs leaving himself wide open to the 3 fouls. Oh, 7-all. Well, there's still another session to go in that match anyway. Well, he's playing the proper lock-up, but he's just left himself totally wide open. Now, can Bedhead get away? That 5 ball is in the way, but he just needs to nudge this a feather and completely lock that 2 ball up, and that is it. So, unless there's some sort of miracle happens here, it's going to be 3 fouls, and Stubb will just concede that as a bad loss. I don't think he's he's in 2 fouls at the moment, so he's got no chance of getting in and out of this, has he? Or have I lost count? He's 2 fouls, so I don't know what he's thinking about. I mean, he might as well just pot the cue ball, because he ain't going to get to the 2. Or I'm a monkey's uncle, as they say. But he's putting a lot of thought into it. Yeah, well. So, that's the second time we've seen 3 fouls. Somebody mentioned it the other day, we hadn't seen a 3 foul rack lost, but we saw one the other day and we saw one tonight. That was a good play by Bedhead. And now, all of a sudden, the scoreboard doesn't look quite so bad, but it's still bad for Bedhead as far as breaks go. He's got himself to double figures. He's trailing before, and again cannot buy a ball on the break. And what's Stubb looking to do here? He's looking very likely at a thin cut and the combo in the 3. No shot in the 2. And he has to get the touch right on this. And that cue ball's leaking away, and there's the mistake. Although Bedhead has ball in hand, he's still going to have to work where this 5 ball is. And again, the handy thing is the 4 balls adjacent. If he can get good on that 4 ball, he has a chance. I haven't even paid attention to that semi-pro. That's a thing that I've been distracted by looking to see if he's going to get a ball in the break, and I haven't looked at his actual choice of where he's breaking from. I think he's breaking from where it appears, is he not? Stubb is anyway. Well, he's the wrong side of the fort. What's he going to be able to manufacture out of this? Well, it's going to be all out for the cut. I mean, this is a toughie. This is a big shot. Well, he's given it another look. Plenty of time to give it another look, so that he's 100% committed. Or is he going to fool me and do something else here? Got to be the cut, I would think. Yes, he is fooling me. He's looking for the safety. And, well, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Stubb to cut this in, because that guide is there with the 6 ball and the 9 ball. And there you go. And Bedhead refused the cut down the rail, and he may well be made to pay the price big time there. Now, what about that shot choice? I mean, it was a really tough cut, but the outcome of it is he hasn't got it safe. He's left the 5 exposed, but Stubb's going to have to play a good one here. This is a very tough shot, especially the line the cue ball wants to go. He's played the bank, and he's got the bank, and what's more, he's got the cue ball into a pretty good place for the 7. That was well done. I don't know what combo you're talking about, where with the 6 and the 7 or whatever 2 balls were together. I didn't see any sort of combo, mind you. I never went down and looked, but anyway, that is by the by now. Bedhead's choice was to play a safe, left the 6 exposed, and Stubb has gone to the one place you don't want to go. Tough cut back. Oh, the 2-9 with ball in hand. Stubb taking his time as well. Don't know whether he's cross-banking this or going for the cut, but we'll see from this side. Looks like the cut. And, well, that could have been a glimmer of hope if Bedhead had pinched this one. But Stubb, no mistake. The lead goes back to 5. And that was a bit of a painful rack there, considering the choice that Bedhead made. He made the safety choice, and if you make that safety choice, you've got to get it safe. And with just that little edge of the 6 showing, and that guide with those 2 balls in line, it made it a lot easier for Stubb to judge the cut. And he made and took full advantage of it. However, Stubb for once has come up dry, and well, Bedhead is playing the push out, but again a critical push out. I mean, once again these balls are pretty much wide open. 6 balls a wee bit awkward because it's guarded by the 7 and you've got the 9 and the 8 all around about that area, but they may well not be there for that long. Bedhead's got to be careful if he's going up the top end, because Stubb will lock him behind the 7 here. I don't think that was a very wise choice, I'm afraid. Bedhead's asking for dire trouble here. And I don't think Steve would be impressed with that push out, I'm afraid, either. He would have very little to say on the positive side of that push out that Bedhead chose. And that's more proof that Bedhead isn't listening to the stream, or he wouldn't have played it. That is just putting yourself right on the chopping block. And Bedhead, last resort, trying to jump out of trouble. The table's not easy, of course, it's a bit of a mess. 3 ball is not going anywhere quick. So Stubb is 4 racks away from the next round. And Bedhead's a long way away. And the match itself has been on for an hour and 36 minutes. Well, this is a toughie for Stubb, and that 7 ball looks as if it wants to go in. It hasn't, but once again he's got the 2 pretty much safe. It's not easy, there's a cut on, but he's not leaving anything as an easy starter here for Bedhead. But if he can get this, he's still got trouble with the 3, so even getting a good 2, he's under pressure to deliver this rack. He's gone for the bank. He's played it well because he's held for the 3. He's got the combo in the 7. But he's got to play this again gentle. Now, if he gets this wrong, if that goes to the rail first and then hits the 7, well, he's played it in the middle, which is probably the more sensible thing to do. It was a tight angle. And now, well, where can this go wrong? Well, I suppose he could do something daft and end up behind the 9 and not been able to see the 6, but he's not going to do anything daft like that. Oh, dare I say it, this is still another vital rack to take out. And there's still that chance that the break might start working. You never know, and you're not out. And it's not done until it is done. Needs to get out of there. Oh dear, that is an absolute shocker. He's played around the rails earlier tonight, played it perfect, and now he's landed in the worst possible place. And that has got to really hurt big time. That's his chance. All the hard work, and one pocket slim has jinxed him. Oh dear, no, Slim's taking the blame. He said he took the blame before I did, so I'm blaming Slim. Oh dear, that is a really, really painful rack to watch, let alone play in it. My goodness me. The only spot in the table where you don't want to be, right behind the 9. And now, I think Bedhead's chance of survival's gone. Right there and then with that one. That's a killer. That's knocked the stuffing right out of him. Well, they talk about bounce back ability. Well, he's going to need to have more than springs and end his feet here to get over this mountain. And Stubb Gets a ball in a shot. He's on the 2, thin cut, 3 ball over the middle. 5 balls awkward considering he's going to have to drop down onto it. But it's looking grim. Well, I reckon that Bedhead's got to be more than resilient. I reckon Bedhead's got to get... he's got to get OJ's lawyers involved in this if he's going to get himself out of this situation. That's what Bedhead needs. Well, here's the one that's going to make or break this rack. And Stubbs played that well. Again, that's what I talk about, the stun draw. You know, that isn't juicing it up. That's a controlled draw just below the equator and hitting it with a firm pace that gets the cue ball moving but not fizzing. And that's how you control that draw. And that was well played. His pool glove doesn't fit. It doesn't matter. Oh dear. And Stubb marches on. And the lead is now 7. And every now and again there's a dry one, but look at what Bedhead's got, absolutely nothing. He's got no shot in the one. The table is wide open again. And don't forget, he's already made a duff choice in a push out earlier on. He wants to get this right. He's got to keep this one well covered, or this table's there for the taking. And behind the 5, little nudge, not bad. Now, what's that look like from this end? Oh, I think there's a gap. I think there is a gap just to feather the edge of that one. Stubb looks as if he's jacking up for the jump. Yep. He fancies getting this. He's just got to jump into that gap there and avoid the 3. Now he's thinking about it again. I mean, he can see the one. The only thing he has to do is hit it firm enough to try and push it to the top rail and get the cue ball out of there. But he's still contemplating trying to jump this. Oh, he's played that well. I mean, that's as good as could be expected from that distance. That he's at least got a cut in the 2. But he's not got a pot on it, because I thought it could squeeze past the 5, but the 5's well in the way now that I look at it. So you would think he's looking to hide this cue ball here. But he hasn't quite done so. But again, it's a pressure shot here for Bedhead. This is not a pretty shot. He's got to make sure he just rolls through far enough. He can't do an awful lot with the cue ball. He's stuck in the pocket. Got to roll far enough though to avoid this 9. And so he can see the 3. And the 3's off the rail. And he's played it well. And 4 ball. Not a problem getting on it, just has to, yeah, he can just drag off this 3. And now it's going to be a long cut in the 5 unless he manoeuvres this cue ball. Problem with that though is where the 6 is. Cue balls want to run away up the table. And the other problem is that 8 ball restricts where you can play this 6 ball from and 2. So this has got to be cleverly thought out here. Does he go all out, up and down? If he does, he's got to get it right. No, he's not. He's trying to just kill it. And he's got it okay. Aye, the scoreboard's disappeared when I go to that that Y button like that. But if I hit the right mouse button, it always comes back. Well, these at the moment are just consolation racks for Bedhead, just to make the score look a wee bit nicer. Unless his break works for the next 3 or 4 racks, it's just a matter of time. So back to within 6. Ball and a shot required. It's 5 ball running away. No ball. And Stubbs got a shot, would you believe it? Awkwardly close, but from what I can see, the 3 ball's a bit tight, but it does go if you get good in it. And Stubbs should be out. He's perfect in the 2 just to kill it and leave himself as straight as he can on that 3, because he doesn't have to then do a lot to get on the 4 either. So yep, this is all over this rack. Well, Bedhead's night can generally be summed up by not being allowed to stay in the match when he's had racks and then had to get a break and a ball. He's not been allowed to get into it. Just the forces of nature, the luck of the draw, the way it's gone in the night. That's the main thing. You know, he said, well, it's just wrong shot choice, playing the push out, that sort of thing. Leaving that 6 exposed for the cut. There's been the odd error, but other than that, had he had those chances, I feel sure he'd have been able to take them if he'd been getting a ball and a shot and a break. The score could certainly have been closer, but there's an inevitability about this situation now. But whatever happens, it ramps up more if Stubb does go on to win the match. It goes up another level. So Stubb on the hill, the break is dry, nothing for Bedhead. That's been the story of the night for the most part. And I think Stubbs' runouts from the break, or racks running total sort of dried up a wee bit, is it not? It's sort of broken up mid-match. We'll find out anyway when we look at the stats. The bank's been played by Stubb. I don't know what for, because he's absolutely nowhere near having a shot in the 2. He's gone for the kick, nearly got it, and he's fluked 8. There you go. You know your night is not going to go your way when that happens. when the guy that you're playing is on the hill and gives it a smack. He's got no shot in the 3 either. He's giving that a pop. And he gets a little nudge in the knuckle and he's sitting pretty in the 3. How about that? And Stubb has got no luck whatsoever. You got to laugh. You have got to laugh at the way he gets these balls running. And the coup de grace is coming for Bedhead. If Stubb can get low on the 6, which he's managed to do. And it's a comfortable win for Stubb. Well, he's nailed himself to the rail, but he should still deal with this, no problem. Well, Stubb's been solid and got the job done, and it could have been closer if the breaks had went Bedhead's way, but it is a win for Stubb by 19 racks to 11. And so Bedhead has got his next opponent already. We'll see that on the bracket, or he should do. We will just change this bloody thing to whatever it is. 30 seconds, is it? Refresh view. And so we'll see that Stubb is now through to play Spectre Dawn. And then of course the top half we've got Cobra to play Mal. If we move across to this one loss side and work our way down, we've got fantastic Mr. Fox set to play Bedhead. We've got Mr. Bill with One Pocket Slim set to go tomorrow at 3 PM in the afternoon. And as I say, touch wood, I'll be there for that. And then further down, we've got Hairpig against Snake Eyes on the 1st of May. And then below that, we've got Albinario to play Larry. And that's that. So now we will go back to the tournament, go to the stats, have a look at the 9-ball stats and the racks run list. And we'll see that Stubb... That's a bit weird. Hang on a minute. Is it my eyes that's gone? Oh, it is. Right, Stubb's gone to the top on 27. Albinario on 26. Cobra on 25. Mal on 19. Hairpig on 18. Spectre Dawn 18. Cirrus, he's no longer in the tournament. MC Clarkey 17, Larry 16, Bedhead 15, Tommy U on 15 as well. So at the moment Stubb's in the lead, but he won't be in the lead for much longer. That is going to change over the next day or two, and well, hopefully I'll be back online tomorrow afternoon for the match between Bill and One Pocket Slim. Good luck to them if I don't make it, but I should be up and running, hopefully, touch wood. So until we meet again, folks, thank you for your company. Do take care, stay safe, and I will bid you all a good night.